how our physical surroundings shape our mental state. Sometimes a change of scenery can spark something in us, perhaps maybe even a little bit more inspired. Our brains are not fixed. They're incredibly adaptable. So, what all of that means is every time you step into a new space or you try something unfamiliar, uncomfortable, like joining that solo travel community, if you want to hear more, keep listening to this episode. Hello, and welcome back to the What Now with Jay podcast. And I'm really glad you're here. My name is Des, the guest host for this season. Today's episode is inspired by some recent talks that I've been having with my mom, Jay. With her move to Bangkok, Thailand, she's frequently sharing how the new change of pace and scenery really has improved her overall mood and just mental clarity. So it's something I've been thinking about a lot and really trying to learn more about how our physical surroundings shape our mental state. So whether it's like moving to a new city, such as Bangkok, or going on a short trip, or just working from a different coffee shop for the day, sometimes a change of scenery can spark something in us. In this change, we can feel sharper, more present in the moment, perhaps maybe even a little bit more inspired. After my own investigation, there's actually science behind that. So, if you want to hear more, keep listening to this episode. We'll share how new environments can literally rewire your brain, what that means from a psychological and neurological perspective, and more importantly, how you can use that to your advantage in everyday life. Our brains are not fixed. They're incredibly adaptable with the ability to rewire and reshape itself based on every new interaction or decision or feeling that we're faced with in life. This is known as neuroplasticity. According to a review published in 2010, neuroplasticity allows your brain to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections in response to changes in environment, behavior, or learning. So, what all of that means is every time you step into a new space or you try something unfamiliar, uncomfortable, like joining that new membership program, signing up for solo travel community, your brain kicks into a more active and engaged state. So you start forming these new associations, and the new environments essentially shake your brain out of autopilot mode. But what actually happens when you change your environment? So here's a few fascinating things that I found in my research for this episode. So first, novelty triggers dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter linked to learning, motivation, and reward. A 2006 study found that new stimuli activate the hippocampus and midbrain dopamine system, which not only improves mood, but also enhances memory formation. That's why when we're on vacations and then we come back, we remember them so well, so vividly. Anytime we have the first dance or first kiss or first time on an airplane, those first time experiences are so vivid. Second, your cognitive flexibility improves, which is just a fancy way of saying your brain becomes more adaptable, better at problem solving and creative thinking. So another study showed that people who frequently engage with these new environments, they actually score higher on flexibility and creativity tasks. So for all the artsy fartsy people out there, for all of my creative people out there, you gotta travel more. Additionally, changing your surroundings can literally make you more mentally agile, meaning you're quicker to problem solve, you're quicker to think on your feet. So again, traveling improves your cognitive flexibility. The third fascinating thing that I found was there's something called eustress, which apparently is positive stress. I did not know there was a thing called positive stress, but here we are. You learn something new every day. So this beneficial stress is the kind that challenges you just enough to grow. So I like to think of it as that grit. A new setting may feel slightly uncomfortable at first, but having that grit, that eustress, that's exactly what activates your brain's growth mode. And if you listen to previous episodes, you know that I am a fan of having a growth mindset. So I really found this point interesting. Before we jump into a few practical ways to rewire your brain, I want to share something that's helped me stay grounded and focused, especially when I need a boost to my usual routine. I've been using Magic Mind and Mental Performance Shot as an addition to my daily routine. It's definitely been getting me more mentally clear, focused, motivated, and productive for my day to day. I enjoy knowing that this mental performance shot has mushroom nootropics and over 100% of the daily vitamin C and D needed in each bottle. So it's not a coffee replacement. You can look at it like an addition to your morning routine, just like your daily essential vitamin, but specifically for your mind. I also like that Magic Mind has over 200 scientific studies behind each ingredient in their mental performance shot, which you can easily find this research on their website. So if you're looking to achieve a balance of productivity and stress-free living, we've partnered with them for a limited time offer of 50% off your first subscription for the What Now with Jay podcast listeners by using the code WhatNow50 at checkout. Again, no pressure, just something that genuinely helped me personally stay in rhythm, especially when everything is moving so quickly and can feel so new. So again, that discount link and information is in the description box of this episode. All right. So, how do we take this brain science that we talked about and actually apply it without having to move across the world? Like, how can we make it real? The good news is you don't need a major life change to get the benefits. Here are a few simple and practical ways you can rewire your brain through environmental change. Change your work location once a week. So, if your circumstances allow, try a new coffee shop, a library, or co-working space, even if it's just for an hour. That time can activate those novelty circuits and really increase your focus. Rearrange your living space. Things like moving your desk around or switching the side of the bed you sleep on, moving a plant or an art piece. These subtle changes can shift your spatial awareness and engage different neural pathways. Take a different route on your walk or your commute. Even having small directional changes can force your brain to pay closer attention. Try a new genre of music or a podcast. So, new audio input stimulates the brain's auditory processing areas and taps into a variety of emotions. Practice saying yes to something small yet unfamiliar. Try that new Pilates class, cooking class, art class. Try a dish you've never eaten or talk to someone new, a stranger. But stay safe. These micro experiences build confidence and train your brain to embrace change. This list of practical tips may sound small, but the science does show that small, consistent novelty adds up to real cognitive and emotional growth. So I have a challenge for you. This week, yes, right now, a week, 7 days from right when you're listening to this episode, do one small thing to shift your environment. Whether you try working in a new space, you change your walk route, or switch up your evening routine. Then I want you to pay attention. Notice how your energy, focus, or creativity shifts. If this episode gave you something to think about, I'd love for you to subscribe to the crew or follow Jay on Instagram. And if you want access to more behind the scenes content, upcoming topics, and even more exclusive downloads, definitely be sure to check out flywithjay.com. And also remember, if you want to grab that 50% off offer for the mental performance shot that I mentioned earlier, the link is listed in the description for this podcast episode. Again, thanks for listening. Keep wandering, keep exploring, and building new pathways. Here's to rewiring your brain, one simple change at a time.